Good evening, I'm Bryce McLeay, and welcome to Outside the House, the unofficial Big Brother after show. It's day 72 inside the Big Brother house, and with less than 2 weeks until finale night, every move in the game is crucial. Cody and Enzo spent the majority of the week going back and forth on the vote, so after 10 weeks, who was the first semi-big blindside of the season? We'll find out soon enough. But first, let's eavesdrop on the Outside the House team. First up is always...
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Were you Nicole Flangel and Christmas together?
I was just going, hey. There was no absolute point to it, but that I had a wig and a tambourine beside me. But yes.
Why don't you should have just been both of them together. I told you this earlier. You look very angelic right this evening. So
I've been very good lately, so that's probably why. I haven't been bad.
We're still riding high from the Julie Chen Moonves.
Yes, riding high.
Riding high. And also, please say hello to Mark Herman.
I have not been good lately.
Wow. You really took it down a few.
But I have my jingle bell. I got my bells.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
You have your bells.
Yeah, we're good.
Our special guest will love those bells. I think he really likes that person.
All right, before we get started, I just want to once again remind everybody to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss your chance to take part in our live episodes and see your comments on the air. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so if you'd rather listen than watch, just open Spotify or Apple Podcasts and search Outside the House. I lost my place here, and please rate and review us. Finally, follow us on socials at From Outside the House on Instagram and at Outside BB House on Twitter. All right, tonight, please welcome our guest for the evening. He survived Survivor, and now he's the host of his very own YouTube and podcast, appropriately titled The Russell Hantz Show. Please welcome BB superfan Russell Hantz.
Woo!
What's happening?
Woo! Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, ring the bell.
Yes.
There we go.
Both bells. All right.
Well, Russell, we really are going to miss you in the comments because, as we talked about right before we went on the air, that you usually are in our live chat and you're usually, giving us all these these unnecessary compliments most of the time. You're so incredibly kind. Yeah, keep going. So we really appreciate.
Yeah, I love to see what everybody's talking about.
Yes, I know. Well, I think that we're the last 4 people that are watching Big Brother All-Stars. Let's just put that out there.
Andy Heron is, James Ryan is, and that's going to be about it. So there you go.
We're so happy that people are still continuing to watch. So we're on this journey. And Rachel, you were on Russell's show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
To talk about that seemed like ages ago, doesn't it?
It does seem like ages ago. Very fuzzy ages ago, but it was.
I enjoyed it.
It was a good show.
It was a great show. I remember watching it. It was very
afterwards. Russell, that was a great show. I was like, oh, it was. That's great.
I'm in Reno. She's doing shots. It was perfect.
I'm by the pool. I'm like, yeah, woo. Okay.
Anyway. Cameron Church says that he's watching it as well. So we thank you, Cameron.
Oh, thank you, Cameron Church.
Okay, well, let's get right into it. All right, by a vote of 2-0, Memphis was evicted from the Big Brother house. I was hoping, as I'm sure we all were, I was hoping for a little bit more of a reaction, a bigger blindside, but I do think he was surprised still. Our friend James Ryan tweeted out, old school BB players don't react like children when blindsided. So I do think this took it in stride. I know.
What's wrong with him?
But
I want to
know, what do you like, Russell? What did you think of tonight's eviction?
I knew that he wouldn't react because that's exactly right. If I would get backstab, I'm not going to have any reaction whatsoever to give them any fuel, any satisfaction of my reaction. I would just go out like I knew it was going to happen. So I knew he wasn't going to react, but it just sucks, man. And the whole season sucks at this point because even Enzo could have split the votes. He could have split the votes. Yes. He could split it. His best move was to split the votes and let Nicole put that blood on her hands. But the meow meow wants to keep doing, we got to play the game. We got to play the game. That's all we hear from him. But he never does it. He has an opportunity after opportunity to play the game, and he doesn't. He's a trash player at this point, and I would take him to the end. I'd take Enzo to the end.
Really? Okay, Rachel, I want to ask you, do you agree with Russell? Do you think that Enzo should have split the vote?
I mean, I didn't expect him to split the vote because that's not Enzo. He is not going to put his neck or his game out on the line for anybody but himself, or if it benefits him. I think for him, he was just playing it safe. I mean, when I really thought about it, do the pros outweigh the cons in that situation? He would piss Nicole off. I don't think Cody would have cared because then that would have made him happy and he would have made Christmas happy. So, or sorry, he wouldn't. He would have sent and he would have made Memphis happy. Maybe he could turn Memphis against Cody, but Memphis was going to keep Enzo anyways. I think it was best for Enzo 100% to have Memphis stay, but I don't know if it was worth it for him. I'm more of a safe player, so I'm not the best to ask that. But yeah.
The only reason. Oh, go ahead, Russell. Go ahead.
Every time he does his message, his goodbye message, he puts it on someone else. When it's all, of course, you're going to do that because you want the votes. But when they get to the house and they start talking, they start saying, "No, he could have did this. He could have did this." He constantly wants to say, "Oh no, it wasn't. I'm going with the house." What do you mean you're going with the house? You split the votes. You put the blood in Nicole's hands. That way you don't have any problem with the vote.
Yeah. So here's my thing. The reason why I asked you that is because I don't, and I mean, obviously feel free to disagree because this is probably wrong, but I actually think that him splitting the vote wouldn't have affected his game the way that maybe people are thinking. I think that that would have made Nicole look stronger by voting out Memphis and actually say Memphis, I think would have respected that more than him than saying, "Oh, Enzo should take me to the Enzo saved me." He would respect the fact because as we saw with Ian as well, Ian was like, you better not evict me. He was playing that game as well. And then when he got evicted, he was just like, great game move. Good job, everybody. And again, we don't know if that was true or not, but that's what I think. I just don't think that would have necessarily secured Memphis's jury vote.
Well, I also think that for Enzo, Nicole can't play in the next HOH. So that would have been the only person that would have really been pissed off at him. So how would that have really affected him? I mean, if we were looking at a Cody HOH, he would be putting up Christmas and Nicole. If we were looking at a Christmas HOH, it would have been Cody and Enzo. And then Nicole could have been the deciding vote. So then in that instance, it could have been bad for him. So it was a real big gamble.
I mean, you look at it, and aspect of it is the bitter jury aspect. Okay, yeah. Can he get this vote, or can he? If he splits it, would he get it? At the end of the day, he's not going to win the game. He could have won. He could have. His big move was actually, in my opinion, was vote not Nicole, and then they take control of the game. So he had opportunity after. That's what I'm saying. He had opportunity after opportunity to actually play the game, and he's taking the easy route every time.
Yeah,
it's easy not to split it. Yeah. It's easy not to split the vote. That's easy
for sure. He's definitely playing it much safer than maybe everybody wants him to play it because for some reason he is the one that is hinging on all of these votes. He could have voted out Nicole. People were pissed about that. He could have voted out. Now he could have voted out. He could have split the vote and made her have, whatever. But Mark, I do want to ask you. We've talked about Enzo. Do you think that Cody made the right move in getting rid of Enzo?
Getting rid of Memphis?
Oh, I'm sorry. God. Yes,
they're all in multiple alliances. Yeah. So, yeah. No. I think so. I mean, he's got to stay true to obviously the bond that he has with Enzo is real. I mean, they're really going for it. Day one, made that final two, and I think they decided on it together that keeping Christmas was the better move. And I do wish that they would have split the vote, made Nicole make that deciding vote, but get a little bit of blood on her hands. But it is what it is. We're day 72, and it's what's going to be exciting anymore. I
just don't know why there was even a question about this. I think that getting rid of Memphis was going to be beneficial to everybody's games, minus I guess maybe. I guess I would maybe. Well, no. I think it. But I mean,
it's beneficial to Memphis to keep. I think that it's bad for Cody's game to keep Christmas in the house. I think that his best move was to keep Memphis.
Yeah. I mean, I do to an extent agree to that. I mean, I think either way, Cody is going to is getting into a rough position. The only reason why I would say that getting rid of Memphis is if I'm Cody, I am not, and again, maybe this is sexist, but I don't know that I would be able to beat Memphis. I think I would be more confident in beating Christmas in a competition than I would be beating Memphis.
Dude, she's still a beast, though, man.
I know. She's very good.
They're both beasts.
Right.
I mean, so it's hard. It's hard to say which one that you could really beat because I think they both.
But the only caveat to that is that we've seen that Memphis can do mental comps too. He won in the triple eviction. He's obviously a physical beast. And the only mental comp was that Christmas one, which was her HOH, was the one that she basically got for not ringing in with Devon. So, like, the one that she won.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just think that I think if it's across the board, I think Memphis is a better competition, player, better competitive player. So. Anyway, that's my spiel. Basically, okay, so Julie, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Julie posted a video backstage during the show, and she said that she's saying the house was flipping in the middle of the broadcast live. Well, Russell, what do you think was going on?
Nothing. I think she did that. I think she did that for entertainment purposes because nothing happened. At first, I was like, oh, they're about to split the votes because I seen what Julie did. And then, so I'm waiting for Memphis to say Christmas, but when he didn't, I don't think I've been that upset the whole time I've been watching this. Even though I wanted Christmas to stay, I wanted Nicole to make that decision.
Yeah,
but, it just makes it a better show for me. So I don't know, Julie. She went out and she says what she says. I don't know. Her and Jeff are totally two different host, even though Julie just seems like an amazing person. I ain't gonna lie. She seems like a really good person outside the game. Jeff, I never had a beer with him. Julie, I probably can have a beer with.
Yeah. Wait, I have to stop the show. Ranger Rick has said, Rachel looking good as usual.
We'll put Rachel full screen for you, Rick.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Sha-la-la-la-la. But wait, oops, sorry. Did that again. Wait, LOL. So true, Russell. Thank you, Kim. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say, but this is, I'm talking ahead, but probably good they got rid of Memphis because that new HOH competition, that's an old school competition and Memphis is old. So he might have known. I'm old too. It's fine. I was just being funny. That was like I read somewhere that Christmas is actually older than Memphis.
There's 39. No possible way of that. Right?
Yeah, Russell knows.
I know. She's 39.
How old is
She's about to be in her 40s. Once you're in your 40s,
she looks great.
Memphis is 37. Wow. Yeah.
What?
I would have never known that.
Christmas
not going to say anything.
So she's the MILF for Memphis.
Yes. Okay. Don't say anything. We're going to get to that. In a second. I'm actually wearing this shirt in honor of Memphis. I knew that he was getting evicted. I mean, I thought that he was, but
we must honor him.
The one thing I did want to ask you, Rachel, is what did you think of Cody's goodbye message? Because all of the other people were very complimentary, but Cody kind of sort of pushed the line there. And I was just wondering, we've talked a lot about how he's played such a great game, but I don't know that was the best move for him. But I wanted to get your opinion on that.
I mean, if Memphis is the type of player that I think he is, he would respect the fact of why he got rid of him. When he said, you made 2 final wise guys, you were doing some shady stuff. I mean, yeah, he was a little more, what's the word? Brass. What's that word?
Brash.
Yeah. Than he normally is. But I think he was just being straight up. He's like, man, and the fact that Memphis sat up there and he said, I say it straight to your face. That's the type of player I am and this and that. And I'm like, actually, you were trying to get Cody backdoored and you were doing some shady stuff all week. So in my eyes, Memphis should respect the move. I would respect the move. The only reason I was so bitter was because I was pre-jury, but I would have respected the move had I gone on to jury. For sure.
I would have loved to see you, if you would have gotten to jury, Rachel, it would have been really interesting, because I think that being like, hopefully, I wish, you should have won, but if you weren't able to win, you could have gone to jury. And I think that it would have been interesting to see like who you would have voted for and what your outcome would have been. But anyway, I wanted to add, so we did see the jury. We saw a lot of the jury tonight. Russell, what did you think of the jury segments as a whole?
I like it remind me of today's episode, remind me of the family visits with Survivor. You had a lot of crying. You've seen some outside the house stuff. When it comes to me, thank
you for saying our title, by the way. I appreciate it.
The titular comment.
There you go.
Always good.
Sorry, keep going.
Right. So for me, I don't like that type of stuff, because I guess when you're in the jury, it's okay because you're already out of the game. But if I played the game of Big Brother, as I played the game of Survivor, I never read my letter in public. I wouldn't never read it in the Big Brother house. I wouldn't want to involve. I would want to be that different person. But when we see it in real time of people outside the house, I enjoyed it, actually. Especially when Devon seen her child. That was, to me, that was the best one. It kind of brings you, especially if you're a dad or a mom, it brings you back to, someone that's played the game, missing that person so much. So I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Oh, Russell, you little softy.
But you're right. I mean, and I liked what they said at the end. It was like everybody's just human, and I think that we need to all remember that as well. Rachel, we saw the jury, see Tyler for the first time, which they didn't seem as surprised as they thought they were, but we saw Tyler fess up to, to Devon. Devon gave him some harsh questions. We also saw him like lose it completely, seeing Angela.
Yes.
And I just wanted to get your thoughts, kind of like, what do you think? I mean, here's the thing. Me personally, I've never thought Tyler is like a fake person or anything. He seems very genuine. I just wanted to like hear like someone who knows him well and has played with him, like what your reaction was to all that.
My reaction is like it's always been. I always knew that Tyler was sincere and what he meant by that. And he wanted to do that for Devon and Bailey. Unfortunately, when he went to Christmas and she basically, said to him, that's not good for my game, and I'm basically not going to do it. And I just think over time, he just got talked out of it through Christmas and probably somewhat through production. So it just ended up being that way. And unfortunately, he had to go back on something that was such a big deal as that, so it didn't look the best for him. But it was nice to see that Devon could see the type of person that Tyler really is, because that is the type of person that he is. And it was nice to see that Devon saw that, recognized it, and accepted his apology. And so
absolutely.
All of that was expected on my end for how I know of who I know Tyler really is.
That's amazing. And it was amazing to see that, like you said, she was able to accept that apology. And I mean, like if we've talked about on this show a lot, it's just that, I mean, I don't think it was ever a strategic move. I don't think anyone, especially right now, would be that strategic or malicious in that intent. So
that
would be a bad move. That would just
be a career killing.
Yes,
that would just be everything. Your entire life would just be
ruined.
Ruined.
Exactly.
When those type of moves, or when it deals with that kind of personal attacks or anything like that, they did that in one of the seasons, a recent season of Survivor, when the girls act like someone was messing with them. And they were hollering, "Me too." While the show was going down, they went and so those type of moves have been made. I think that those are dangerous moves. I don't think they have any place in any reality TV show, Survivor or Big Brother. But they do have people out there that will do that.
And we've seen this happen on Big Brother as well. I mean, with people saying, "Oh, I swear on the life of my child," or
I've done that before.
So I mean, it's not impossible. But I do not think, especially right now in 2020, and Tyler being the person that he is, would never do something like that. Mark, I wanted to ask you, what did you think of the jury segments?
I thought it was.
Were you surprised by anything, or
no? Not really. I mean, the main takeaway from it is, they're human, and it's really good to see them meshing well, seeing their family. I don't know. I'm a father, and I can totally. I just get what Dave Allen was feeling, and it's good to see that side
Danny
of them
too. I mean,
Danny as well. Yeah, and it's as much as Twitter likes to hate on them because people call them like hamsters, or hamster watch, but I mean they're people, and it's good to get to see that side of them.
Mm-hmm.
But so, as being a devil's advocate, could you actually? I know it's a terrible move, but do you understand some of the fans when they're like, "You're supposed to be a different person when you go in the house"? Like Dan says, "Leave your heart at the door." Like you don't even supposed to be that person.
Definitely.
So when you make such drastic moves, is it okay? And I can see in the Big Brother world of things that you guys get way more hate, especially in social media, than we do. And I was
because we have live feeds. That is why.
Yeah.
If there was no live feeds and it was just an edited show, the hate would never be this much.
Yeah. And Survivor, I think Survivor is pretty much in the can, before they start editing and airing it. So they already know before it airs who's basically going to win, so they can build the story and adjust things along the way. And Big Brother they turn 3 episodes a week minimum.
Rachel, do you think they should get rid of the live feeds?
I mean, you
don't have to answer. You can believe
they basically have they've been down so much.
I mean, I think that it's unfair that there are so many other reality shows out there. We're literally the only one. And if you see in all of the TMZ articles, all the stuff that comes out and all the bashing, and then the fans on Twitter adding TMZ and trying to get them to make articles out of nothing. Sometimes, yes, I do understand.
Of course.
Yes, it's warranted, but sometimes it's pulling strings, or sometimes it's reaching.
It's reaching, because look, TMZ just posted. This is crazy. They said, TMZ posted that Memphis said the N-word. TMZ posted that because I seen it. I picked it up. I grabbed it and put it on my YouTube channel and was like, wait a second, is this real? But before I started listening to it, you couldn't hear what he was saying. Then CBS comes out and says, we went through the audio, we listened to it, we made sure that he did not say that word, and he did not. So TMZ retracted that and said, oh, Memphis didn't say the N-word. But them actually grabbing a hold to it like that, that's messed up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more of a, and unfortunately, I think that's more of a TMZ problem. I used to work there, and I mean, I could just tell you that it's like there needs to be more vetting with stories. It can't just be like, oh, someone saw this on Twitter. I'm not saying either way. I'm just saying that however you feel about that, it's like,
well, and I think a lot of it is just the instant nature of social media, that people retweet stuff, they send it out, and the initial story gets the traction, but the retraction gets like 10 retweets. I think the famous quote, like a lie can be halfway around the world before the truth gets its pants on.
Yeah,
like,
it's really sad. Like, I mean, I've seen it with people on The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. Like, some of these ladies get drugged through the mud, and their reputations are just like shattered for years. And then all of a sudden, when the truth comes out, it's like, oh, well, why did I mean, I've seen that a lot with with Reality Steve posting about different girls or retracting statements or different stuff like that. I don't know. I get sad for situations like that where your name gets drugged through the mud for no reason or because you want to create a story.
For sure.
Or
actually, guys, is what an expertly Very nice conversation.
Well, I is very smart.
Yeah,
so
let me
you
go
know.
get my
Feel very
monocle and
scholarly.
top
It felt
hat.
very scholarly. Okay, but let's move on. So one Twitter user at BB Spoiler Fan did some math work recently to show that the committee alliance, albeit extremely boring to watch, is actually the most successful alliance in Big Brother history. We retweeted this on our account, but basically the committee was in power 91.6% of the season. And the only time they weren't in power was when Enzo won HOH, and he's aligned with so many of the committee members, it's basically 100%. By comparison, the Brigade in BB12 was in power 70% of the season, and Level 6, Rachel's alliance, was in power 57% of the season. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Rachel, let's start with you.
I mean, the facts are the facts. They've been in power the entire time. We wanted the power to shift, but unfortunately, nobody on the other side that we wanted to win or that Twitter wanted to win could get in power, unfortunately. I mean, we almost had it with Davon that 1 week, and we would have gotten Nicole and Danny on the block that week. It would have been a game changer right there. We would have at least gotten 1 week, but the facts are the facts. As boring as it is, at least Level 6, or at least my season, had some type of entertainment to it. The season has had zero entertainment to it. So maybe 5% entertainment, but at least Level 6 had some type of personality. The committee's been,
I know it's been pretty blah.
But the facts are the facts. So, but no entertainment.
Russell, what do you think about this?
I think that we can't hate on that. It's boring, yes, but they did what they had to. I mean, Cody's going to win $500,000. So, at the end of the day, if they don't do something about it, he's going to win. So, so we can't hate on Enzo and Cody and Nicole winning and putting themselves in a higher position to win the game. It's just boring as it happens.
Yeah.
Russell, can I ask a question?
Yes.
If Christmas wins HOH next week and puts Nicole and Cody on the block and Cody goes home, who's winning then? Huh?
Christmas.
She'll
win.
Actually, she will win if she sends Cody home.
Whoever sends Cody home is going to be a beast, and they're going to be in the jury house thinking, if I was in that house, and I say it out loud to the TV all the time, because I'm in the world of reality TV and strategic play. I would go up to everybody else but Cody and say, who can you beat? Can you beat Cody? Can you beat him? Just answer that question. They all know they can't, but somehow it happens every single season. We see Derek going all the way. Nope, we all knew he was going to win. We constantly seeing people go all the way that we know is going to win the game. And if you sit back in that game and you actually think, and this is actually something if I ever play any of these games again, that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that with myself. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to be like, can I be who in this house or who on the island comes closest to beating me or that can beat me? That's who you have to target at the end of the game. Loyalty goes out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Russell, I completely agree with you. I think that whoever takes out Cody should win.
Yes.
I have a little bit of I'm curious as to what would transpire if this does happen. First of all, I do not think I don't know that Christmas would, if she wins, I don't know that she put Nicole up, but I would like her to. I think that she might put up Enzo. The thing about Christmas, the thing about Christmas is that she is loyal to a fault. She was obsessed with the committee.
Where's the Christmas bells?
Yeah, where's the bell, Mark?
Well, and you dropped a loyal in there as well. So
loyal. Yeah, no, but
Christmas
seriously,
is actually trying to play the game, guys.
Yeah.
She really is. She's so loyal to a fault that she doesn't it. I think that the deal that she made with Nicole will be binding. I don't think that she'll necessarily go around with that. And that was smart of Nicole to do. It was smart of her to mend fences with Christmas. I'm really throwing all the things out, but I would be curious to know what would happen.
I got to know what you think. Christmas wins the next HOH. She puts Enzo and Cody on the block. She's true to her word, and she brings Nicole to the end because Enzo's not winning anything. If it's Enzo left, it's gonna be Christmas and Nicole at the end of that game. Who wins?
Who wins? Well,
and Christmas gets rid of Cody.
Yeah, well, if Christmas gets rid of Cody and Nicole votes to evict Cody, I mean that's a big betrayal on Nicole's part, which
huge.
could resonate with the jury as well. Like, oh, she did that, and then it would come down to who was winning those final age. I mean, if Christmas Beast did the final or if Nicole Beast did the final, it could be a toss up between the two, to be honest with you.
That is the hardest question that I have, Russell. That's the hardest question I have is who's winning between Nicole and Christmas.
And you know what? That's the best outcome. This shitty season, that's the best outcome so far.
Yeah.
That would be pretty interesting. Even though we don't want to see it. I don't want to see Nicole at the end. I want to see Christmas at the end. But that would be the outcome. Everybody's like, will we see a bitter jury? Are they actually going to vote for Christmas? I mean, I'm just saying.
I think that whoever takes out Cody, that's going to resonate a lot with the jury. I can't say that enough. I think it's very important that gets done, and hopefully Cody, as a game player, would respect that and not be a baby about it and go into the jury house and be like, listen, this person got me out. I have the most. It's like the Vanessa thing. It's like when Steve took out Vanessa. I mean, not that this is the same caliber of gameplay, but the fact that he took her out was warranting his win. And that's why I think that he should have won that. That's why I'm glad that he won that season. So, but yeah, I think that's a very interesting thing. But can you imagine if we have Enzo, Nicole, and Christmas in the final three?
Yes. Would be like a
like at least Cody deserves to win. I mean, at least we can all say Cody deserves to win.
Yeah.
Rachel, who would you want to win if it's those three?
Jesus, I would give it to Christmas. I mean, I would. And she's the one.
But we don't know. Okay, but no, forget.
I'm done.
Where's my bells? I need to get some bells.
No, wait, forget.
I'll
Christmas.
send these to you, Russell.
Okay. Forget Christmas, like taking out Cody. That's not just think like somebody. I mean, I guess that's the only way that Cody would leave. Okay, so never mind.
I don't know. It would it's very. I would have to sit down and write out the votes.
But like Enzo could. Well, no, he wouldn't do that either. I'm just trying to think of a situation where Christmas actually evicts Cody and isn't the HOH. Like she would be the person that is voting to evict the person. But
well, if
I don't know that would happen.
Enzo won, he'd put up
Christmas
Nicole and
Nicole.
Christmas, but one of them would have to win the veto. And then in that instance, then if Christmas evicted Cody, that would be really cool. Or Nicole evicted Cody. I mean, we'd have to see, but there's so many scenarios. I need to write them all down. My brain can't process that all right now.
So Waz says the only scenario Cody goes out next is if Nicole and Enzo win HOH and Christmas wins the veto and votes him out. Okay, so that was the situation that I was thinking.
Okay.
But anyway,
you were a very wise person.
Was wise. All right, moving on. Just when we thought BB22 was the blandest thing on your television, something saucy allegedly happened between Memphis and Christmas. According to Cinema Blend, rumors started swirling following a live feed video in which Christmas was seen making her way over to Memphis's bed. Christmas has her back to the camera but leans down to Memphis, and there's a pause before she pulls away, and Memphis is heard laughing in his bed. The answer to whether or not this is a cheating scandal is unclear. To start, there's still no definitive evidence of cheating. We didn't see it on the show or anything. Second, Christmas has said she's on, quote, good terms with the father of her child outside the house. Dang. Oh. Though it is unclear what their relationship status is. Memphis had a girlfriend going in, but it appears she has wiped her Instagram page of his pictures with him since this drama started. So, Russell, what do you think about this? You talked about it a little bit earlier.
Well, first of all, we don't know. We don't know if it was whisper, if it was a kiss on the cheek, if it was like, hey, let's talk baseball talk. And first base, second base, third base.
Baseball.
And when anytime we say home run, you know what that means. So, because all of a sudden they started talking all kind of crazy talk. But we've seen actual people cheat in the house. We have to respect the fact it's hard. You know, they're in this game for 3 months. And it's not an easy thing to go through. We have to respect the fact that is that all we got? You know what I mean? Like they're trying to not cross the line. That's what I see. I don't know.
Well, we had a group text about it in our little show text. What do you guys, Rachel? What do you think?
Listen, let me tell you something. if I was in a house for 3 months and somebody came up, I was gonna kiss a guy. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be just that. Yeah, you couldn't just not do that and just be like, oh well, now I'm going on my merry way. No, you would be so. I'm sorry, but you'd be hot and bothered, and you'd be wanting more, and you wouldn't just go, oh well, great. Now we go back to bed.
Just a big old passionate kiss, and then Memphis just rolls
later.
I would have been like, "Yo, meet me at the HOH room at this time." And blah, 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 blah. Like, if you really wanted
to, storage closet.
Meet me in the storage, or you wouldn't. I don't freaking know. And
they said they were in the shower together too, but I don't know.
Meet me in the bathroom.
No,
I don't know.
You can always clear out the bottom of the cabinets and go up in there. There's no cameras in the bottom of the cabinet. Trust me, I've already thought about this. Like, take all them pots and pans out, get under there, close the doors. They can't do nothing about it.
Also in the morning, there is 10-minute window of no cameras on. It's when the music is playing.
10 minutes? That's all you need.
Literally, if you woke up, say you're HOH, you woke up in the morning, you're by whoever, y'all could probably do something for 10 minutes.
Hell yeah. 10 minutes? That's a lifetime.
I never thought about that.
That's
a long time.
All right.
Might not be a good time or a long time, but it'll be a good time.
Well,
I don't know.
I think Christmas stayed loyal.
That would really
ring
suck.
The bell. Ring the bell.
Hey, Rachel, wouldn't that really suck if that happened with Memphis and Christmas and for the 10 minutes, it was only 1 minute and they had 9 minutes just sitting there like,
all right.
Think about it.
Was that it?
And I totally
think 10 minutes.
I also saw an article that said she basically said we never had pictures on Instagram. I don't know why these news outlets are reporting this because we never had. I never wiped anything clean. I think I saw something that she said about that, but I was like, I know I've seen pictures somewhere, but I think it was on his Instagram.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe they just. I don't think they kissed. I don't think they kissed.
I mean, I'm a little bit skeptical about it too.
I think they have a little bit of sexual tension, maybe.
For sure.
I don't think they kissed.
Rachel, if that was your man, because if that was my woman, and I thought about it, would I be upset? I don't think I would be, because the sexual tension thing, and they're out the house. They did their best not to do anything. Like, they didn't do anything. I don't believe it couldn't have been a kiss because of what you just said.
Yeah, they're grasping at straws. They're showing pictures of them huddled up with each other. They're grasping at straws.
Yeah, right. I agree. All right, now it's time for a new segment called Leaving the House. Oh. We've seen these house guests set Twitter ablaze this entire season with their behavior and language. And this week on the live feeds, we saw Memphis making fun of Nicole Anthony's podcast, saying it'll be a cold day in hell before I listen to her podcast. He went on to say that his humor is, quote, talking shit about people and that, quote, some people will find him mean. So first off, Rachel, you tweeted about this.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what your thoughts on this were.
I just thought it was just really classless. I mean, Nicole Anthony has already been voted out by him. She has already professed in the house and her struggles with, her struggles in the house coming from her season before. The bullying and all the different stuff that she's been through. I mean, she's already been through enough. Don't drag her podcast through the mud. I mean, she enjoys doing it. It's something that she loves to do. I don't think people might not get my humor because I'm an asshole or whatever he freaking said. I'm just like, well, just be a good person. Don't talk negative. You can say whatever you want, but don't negatively talk about somebody's career.
Yeah,
I mean I
don't benefiting him.
It's easy.
The people talk negatively. People talk negatively of my career when I was in the house. I had people talk crap about me,
What did they say? I mean, you don't have to dig it up. But.
I don't want to dig it up, but it was just, I had people say stuff about me, so I don't want it hurt my feelings to see someone as I didn't like it. I just didn't like it.
I thought it was good that you tweeted it and that you made it like you were like, this is not cool. And it was
just be lighthearted. I just felt like he was just nasty with it. I don't think there was nothing funny about it, in my opinion.
There was, and what is it? How is that benefiting him? Is dragging this podcast? There's no reason for that.
Yeah, I mean, Russell. I mean, and here's another thing. He's gonna get interviewed by the podcast because Eric does one of some of the exit interviews, so he's about to get interviewed by that. So I'm gonna laugh, and I can't wait to see it.
It's just jealousy, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it in several clips. We see it with Nicole when she sees the bombshell of Janelle, and we see Cody when he sees the king of Kaser. It's just like when you're in that position, you want to be the top, you want to be the prettiest, you want to be the bombshell, you want to be the king, and I don't know, it's jealousy. That's all I can see.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you think?
I think it's unfortunate, and like you guys say, like Nicole Anthony is probably one of the purest souls to ever play Big Brother. Like she's a great person, and the podcast obviously brings her joy, and it's a big part of her life. And to just drag her unnecessarily for that,
yeah.
I mean, unless he's going to start his own like mixology podcast, he's trying to drum up support for it.
Yeah,
like,
unnecessary, just like you said, unnecessary. There's no reason for it.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, and it's like the same thing with Nicole. I do want to get to that, but I mean, same thing with Nicole. It's like you're in the final four. Like, forget about Janelle. Like, it's not. Why are you still harping on this? But furthermore, out of everybody who's still left in the house, as well as the members of the jury, I just wanted to ask you guys, who do you think is going to have the toughest time after they leave the Big Brother bubble? Russell, do you want to?
That's easy. Nicole.
You think over Memphis? Over Memphis?
Oh no, Memphis
can't be bothered.
Memphis could lose his girlfriend. Christmas could lose her boyfriend, and they're both not going to be as bothered as Nicole. Nicole lost sponsors. She cares about what people think about her. Mm-hmm. It's how her personality is, and when she finds that out, she's gonna unless she wins $500,000, she's gonna wish she never even played.
Wow, I mean, that's probably true. I mean,
yeah.
Rachel, what do you think?
I think Nicole's going to have the hardest time. She cares too much what people think about her, and it's probably going to mess with her a little bit. I don't know her very much personally, but just how bothered she gets about some things in the house, it scares me for her going outside of the house. I think Memphis could care less. I think Cody could care less. I think Christmas, Enzo is not going to have a really I have seen no hate towards towards Enzo. And then I think Christmas, I've heard her say on the feeds, like, stuff. I think she wants to be very well liked, but I think Christmas has turned it around a little bit, to be honest with you.
I agree with you.
I think
Great redemption arc.
I feel like she's gained some redemption and she's gained some kudos in the Big Brother community. So I think she turned it around better than the week that, she's going to have to deal with the Bailey and Davon week. And I think that's going to be a bit of a struggle for her, but she seems like somebody who has a lot of good people in her corner, and she's successful. She's going to be even more successful after the show. So she doesn't have anything to worry about.
As long as you don't give Christmas the car keys.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I didn't even think about that.
I forgot about all that crap.
I didn't think about that. And people really dug that up. Mark, what about you? What do you think?
They should have had the sled running over Santa or something with her.
Yeah, she ran over Grandma. It wasn't a
yeah, right. It was perfect.
Oh God, I would have been so funny.
What do you guys think about Nicole's? It was so funny watching. I'm sorry, but it was so funny watching, looking at Nicole's comic and looking at Janelle's comic. She's like in the cereal box,
the sloppy cereal box.
That that got to her.
Oh. No, I'm sure they did that. I mean, it'd be kind of funny, not meanly, but it'd be funny to have done that if they did that on purpose. But Mark, what do you think?
First of all, let's just address what Ranger Rick says. Enzo will continue in the now I guess, long tradition of former Big Brother contestants having a feet only fans.
Yeah. Well, I was just when I was made aware on my little my Armchair All Stars show that I have a 5.0 rating on WikiFeet. So, sorry. So
Wow,
they were like, we have someone among us who is a star in the WikiFeet community, and I was like,
you own OnlyFans?
no,
Rachel?
on WikiFeet.
Oh, I just
WikiFeet.
I was,
Those are just things that don't need to exist.
let me go.
Yeah, so I think Nicole will
stop it.
Nicole will definitely have a hard time. I mean, I don't know how her feet look. I don't think that she'll do an OnlyFans, but yeah, just to agree with everyone, she definitely internalizes a lot of things that perhaps she shouldn't. I mean, you could say that about all of us. And it'll get to her.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. All right, now I'd like to end the show with final thoughts. What do you guys hope happens this week after this, the fallout, the HOH, the fallout, Memphis getting evicted? Russell, I want to start with you. This is just where we kind of see, like, what do you hope for? Who do you hope wins HOH?
Right.
Who do you hope goes home? What are your thoughts on the week ahead?
Well, I'm hoping, even though half the nation probably didn't like Christmas, maybe they're starting to like her a little bit now. I'm hoping Christmas wins and puts Cody and Enzo up. I think that's the best option. I think that's the most entertaining. But what probably is going to happen is Cody's going to win everything, including the chess game, whatever that was. Cody's going to win that. Cody's going to win HOH both times in a row. Cody's going to take Nicole and win the game.
Rachel?
I mean, yeah, I agree it'd be the most entertaining of Christmas one, but I think this one is going to be between Cody and Christmas. I don't think Enzo was sitting on there going, what the hell? What is this, bro? I don't even know what this is. So I don't think, unless that was strategy, but I don't know if that, think that was strategy.
No.
I think that this is going to be between Christmas and Cody. I think Christmas is smart enough to win it. So I think this could be between them two for sure.
Mark, what about you?
Let's go with what I want to happen instead of what I think will happen, because I agree with pretty much what everyone said for what I think will happen. What I want to happen is Enzo to win HOH, and just I like chaos. I'm just a fan of making things chaotic for absolutely no reason. And I think Enzo winning HOH 2 times in a row would be probably the most chaotic thing that could happen.
Well, yeah, because then Nicole and Christmas go on the block. One of them win the veto, and then we're in for an interesting situation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I gotta say. I mean, Russell, I'm a outed Nicole Franzel fan, but I wanted to say that she is looking pretty damn good right now. I don't see her. I really do not see her going home this week. I just think it's pretty amazing that they have let a winner get this far in the game, and that they are so sure that she is not going to win again in the jury. And that's a great strategy by her. I don't know that she could actually do it, but it's very interesting that they're allowing this to continue to happen. So, I mean, I think regardless of what happens, I'm just kind of mesmerized by the fact that I don't think she's played the greatest game this season, but I also am shocked that they have allowed her to get this far. I do think that Cody is probably going to win this HOH, even though I think Christmas or Enzo would be a lot more interesting though.
Yeah, I changed. I think I want Enzo to win now.
Who does to them?
Thank you, Rachel.
Of them does he bring?
What'd you say? Sorry, go ahead, Russell. What'd you say?
Who does Cody bring to the end? The final 2 with Cody. If it's his choice, who does he take?
I think Enzo.
I think Nicole.
I think Nicole as well. Even though that loyalty with Enzo, it would kill him to do that. I think he's got to think bigger than
I think he would still win against Enzo. I think he's going to win against either of them.
I think he would still win, but I think he is mental. This is weird. Mentally closer to Nicole because they've played together. They know each other. I think that maybe he would pick Enzo. Like, I think he would be like, Enzo's my ride or die. But I also think that Nicole could play into the fact that, the jury really likes Enzo. Enzo's played a great social game. He's done it. I mean, I think she could. I don't see Cody thinking that he can. It just depends on how much he wants to win, I think. I think it'd be a much closer vote if he goes with Enzo. If he goes with Nicole, I think it'll be a slam dunk. But again, you never know. I think that's expect the unexpected, you know?
And that's why I think he'll take Nicole. Like he's obviously a strong mental player, and I'm sure he's done a risk assessment of who do I have the highest, risk of losing against. And, it's hard to say oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Why is
read that, Russell. Read that.
Okay. Rachel has 117 votes on Wiki feed. WTF is this?
People have
Wiki feed a thing?
I'm done with this show.
People have more votes than I do.
I'm done with life.
I'm voting for you. Rachel, I'm going and voting for you right now.
All right, thank you so much. Who do we want to win America's favorite player? Maybe
that's
that's for another
Rachel.
show. Maybe that's for another.
No, go ahead. No, Rachel, let's answer. You go first.
I want Janelle to win because I think it would be the funniest slap in Nicole's face. So I think that'd be, and that's the biggest reason, to be honest with you. And because I think that she was the one for me the entire season. She doesn't care what anyone thinks. She just does what she wants to do. And she was playing the game. She wanted to play the game. And I just think she's such a big star among the Big Brother fans. I mean, she's still number one on the polls. So
sure.
I want Janelle to win because I want to see Nicole's face.
Okay, real quick, Russell, who do you think?
I want Janelle to win for the exact same reasons.
I don't think
Mark, what about you?
Well, I agree with that, but I don't think Nicole's face would be as good as Frankie Grande's face was, and he realized he was not America's favorite player.
That was a great moment.
Oh my God, I forgot about
during
that.
The credits, he's just like shell shocked. He's just, I'm a mogul. I'm a social media mogul. Why
Who was the favorite?
I don't even remember.
Was it Nicole?
It might have been Nicole.
Oh no. Sorry, that was a whole other season.
No, I think it was Nicole.
BB16. I think maybe it was Hayden. No. Oh, poor Hayden.
I want Devon to win.
Yeah.
I want Devon to win.
Yeah, I mean, Devon's my second choice, but my first choice is Janelle.
It would be great to see Janelle. Okay, you guys. Well, that's our show. Once again, we're going to talk about that more next week, though, Rachel.
Okay.
Once again, if you do not want to miss a moment, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also hit the notification bell. Sorry, I missed that part. So you all know when to take part in our live episodes. Subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts by searching Outside the House in the search bar, and make sure to follow the show on Instagram @From Outside the House. And on Twitter @Outside Beating House. And our personal socials are plastered all over those accounts too. We will see you next Thursday right after the eviction. Once again, thank you so much, Russell, for being here. You can follow him @Russell Hantz on Twitter and @Russell_Hantz on Instagram. Please also follow his awesome show @This Is TRHS. Anything else, Russell, you'd like to plug and promote?
That's it. Just go to my YouTube channel, The Russell Hantz Show. You can see everything I'm doing. We have a show every day, Spilling the Reality with my girls. They're amazing. If you guys haven't watched that, check that out. And
yes, I watched it today, and it was great. It was great.
It's a great show. They're very entertaining. Yes. I don't know what happened to Rachel. She left us.
She said her computer just turned off. It started a reboot. So please send her regards from Apple.
I officially feel like I was on a date with her right now. That's what happens when they just leave.
It's magic. It's magic. Right. Just like poof and out of thin air. It's like all my dates. Anyway, finally, everybody, please go also check out Rachel's other Big Brother recap show, Armchair All-Stars, on Tuesday nights only on the TV Co app. Rachel does about 1 million podcasts every week. So everyone should go follow her page @Rachel Swindler on Instagram and make sure that you are listening up. She has obviously great insight. So go ahead and check that out. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here. We will see you all next Thursday from outside the Big Brother house. This has been Outside the House. Good night.
Good night, everyone.